My job description is make sure KitBash is a great place to work.
When Banks and I started KitBash, the initial idea for the company was not a product or a software. It was a culture that we wanted to spend our time in.
We both worked for more than a decade in traditional Hollywood, and we had this incredible experience working on some of the larger productions in the world, but felt like we weren't able to have the level of impact that we wanted to have or that we thought we could have.
We really wanted to create a company where everyone who came there could feel appreciated, where they had the opportunity to grow, and where they had the opportunity to have a big impact. We created the company that we always wanted to work for.
The mission of KitBash is to enable and inspire the creators of the virtual frontier.
That's this group of people that we believe are building the next version of the internet. They're doing that today through movies, through video games, and through interactive experiences of all types using 3D technology.
3D is no longer the black box. It's what everyone experiences every day.
I think the cool thing is that anyone can be a creator of the virtual frontier. It's really an inclusive space, and I think a big part of what KitBash is doing is appealing to many different types of creators who can contribute to what the virtual frontier is.
We are a mission-driven company, and we do a really good job about making sure that from the top to the bottom, we're all focused on the same thing.
Creating company values is a really important experience for us as a team, where rather than saying, let's write down our code of conduct and then behave that way, instead, it was years in and we said, actually, what do we actually do? Let's write that down.
There's a difference between having an aspirational value and actually having a value that represents how we act. And I think the striving for excellence really represents how we operate at KitBash.
I mean, the asset quality is, beyond question. It's been used in everything from Doctor Strange to The Last of Us. So that's the bar we're building to, and that's what we do.
The level of enthusiasm that everybody approaches projects with is kind of surreal, and it's not phony. It's just a drive and an appetite to do things to the best of everyone's ability.
Every single day, we are looking for ways to maximize our growth and amplify that in one another, whether that's in our professional life or in our personal life.
Committing to growth really means being able to step outside of your comfort zone, take on new challenges, and learn as you go through things.
The Professional Development Fund is one of the ways that we really show our commitment to growth.
We set aside $1,000 every year for every full-time team member, and they have ownership over how they choose to invest in those funds. For example, our customer support team has taken some 3D production courses, and I think that's a really cool way where people learn elements of our industry.
So after the class or the seminar, they come back to the team and they tell us what they learned so that everyone gets a little bit of a piece of growth from that experience. We're all very ambitious people at KitBash, but we want to make sure that we can do this for the long haul. It's about how do we work 10 years from now together.
The stress is not the hard part. Everyone here is seeking to see how good they can become on a regular basis, but the rest is the thing we found we need to remind ourselves and each other of. And so we actually wrote up on the whiteboard, happy and healthy. And we said, if we don't prioritize being happy and healthy with the same veracity that we prioritize anything else in our business, we'll never achieve it.
We don't have working hours. There's no, you have to be here at 10 a.m. We have hours you're not allowed to work. You're not allowed to work after 7. You're not allowed to work on weekends, because that's the type of culture that high achievers need in order to thrive.
The fourth company value, I think, is foundational for everything that we do and stand for.
To get a group of 60 individuals who are all professionals and great professionals in their own regard that still care so much about championing the neighbor to their left and the neighbor to their right is genuinely inspiring. It's the reason we can continue pushing the bar the way we do.
KitBash is one of the most positive companies I have ever worked with.
Probably the number one thing that we get asked in hiring process is, what is Fuzzy Friday?
In Fuzzy Fridays, we take an opportunity to talk about our wins and what we went through during the week. And then we also take the opportunity to spotlight one another.
We go around the room and each person talks about how they embodied the first 3 values, how they strived for excellence that week, committed to growth, and are prioritizing rest. Then they pass the microphone on to the next one.
That way the culture maintains its integrity, and that way it's always talked about and seen, not just written down and put on a website somewhere.
And that regular practice of expressing gratitude towards one another and acknowledging one another, seeing the gifts and the incredible effort that your teammates have given to you, makes the whole wheel go around.
People who will love working at KitBash are ones who are excited about stepping outside of their comfort zone. Somebody who is not afraid to take on a project, make a mistake, make something better.
Someone with an insatiable appetite for growth.
They're never going to be satisfied with the work that they did yesterday, and they want to be surrounded by a team that's going to push them to be even better today.
You have to be able to execute to make it here, but you also have to be able to believe that there's something greater, that there's something more that we can achieve together.
If somebody wants to join KitBash, you can go to our careers page. We post all of our open positions there. We're always posting new positions and growing quite consistently. So if you don't see a role that kind of piques your interest at that moment, I would encourage you to continue checking back.
We're hiring a lot of new people, and I can't wait to see who joins us next.